Hey guys, today I'm going to do a walkthrough of my Obi Ambient pads. As the name suggests, I created these pads using my new Obi 6. I've fallen in love with this keyboard. So nice, really analog, warm, aggressive sounding keyboard. That can actually sound quite sweet, especially when I use it with my Big Sky. So that's exactly what I've done here. I've created two different types of pads and all 12 keys, 12 minutes long. They fade in naturally and fade out after 12 minutes. The two versions, there's one that's just a raw Obi 6 sound going through my Big Sky, and then the next one is kind of an EQ'd version with a little bit of extra reverb as well. I've put quite a big high pass filter on it and taken out some of the mud, and the reverb EQ version actually works better if you're moving your chords around because the bass note doesn't clash with the pad. So that's just a little bit of a trick for using these. I love this keyboard, the Obi 6. We ended up using it on, I think, every single song actually on the new Hillsong album, Let There Be Light. So I thought I would put this into an Ambient pads pack for anyone to use, and you don't need Mainstage to use it. You've got the Wave version there, or an M4A version for those of you who want to put it on like an iPad, iPod, or just a playback device that's got limited space, because the Wave version, I think it's 3 gig, and the M4A is like 700 megabytes. The reason why I didn't do MP3 is because I don't really like the quality of MP3. It compresses it too much, and you kind of lose a lot of the quality. So M4A was a step up from MP3, but it's still a small enough size to fit on most devices these days and not take up too much space. What I'll do is I'll just play you a couple examples here and show you the difference between the raw sound and the EQ'd sound. Obviously you wouldn't just stop it like I did there, you'd fade it out naturally. And this one is the reverb EQ version. Anyway, rough fade, but you get the general idea. Obviously it's got all 12 keys in there. I've left a third out of every chord, so you can play any progression over the top of that if you're in the same key, and it will just work. I'll show you the Mainstage version now. It uses the full quality WAV files, if anyone's wondering, and I've redesigned it quite a bit from my last Ambient pads version. I had quite a few people ask for different things, like can we fade it out rather than having to pull down the volume slider. So I've done that, and they're all 12-minute long files that it's playing. You can fade it with this fade button. You can map all of these to any button on your MIDI controller. I'm using a Korg Nano controller too, and all the buttons along the bottom have been mapped to C all the way to B. So that's the way that I'm using it. We've got a pad mix knob here, so it's mixing kind of crossfading between those two pads I just showed you, the raw sound and the more pristine version. We've got a motion button that turns on two really slow tremolos. One of the pads actually going left while the other one's going right, so it creates this really nice interweaving subtle motion to the pad sound. We've got the 3-band EQ like I included in the other Ambient pads collection. We've got shimmer too, so you can pull that in or out. Obviously a panic button just in case MIDI gets stuck, just put that in, it'll cut all pads instantly. Then we've got the volume. This volume only affects the Ambient pads, and this one is a master for whatever sounds that you import into this Mainstage template. A good thing to know is if you get this Mainstage template and you want to actually import everything into a different one. So let's say you're using another template that also has these kind of motion pads or infinite pad setup. It does come with the 12-minute WAV file, so you can easily just drag those into another template if you want to, or you can just, like I'm going to do today, import sounds into this template and use it as is. This is kind of the way I like to use it. I like to take out a little bit of the low end, even some of the top end, just to make it fit better with the piano so it's not too intrusive, and I like to use that shimmer as well. Okay, so I'm just going to start playing some random chord progressions. Some of them may not be random, but anyway, and I'm going to go between different keys and kind of show you how you can use these pads as transitions and just using them even when you're changing keys. So here we go. So that was just some rough ideas of how you could use it to transition songs and bring the pads in and out to create dynamics. Yeah, so that's the walkthrough video, so thanks again for watching.